In Belize, our economy is built on the foundation of robust biodiversity, from agriculture to tourism. Our existence as a people is dependent on healthy and vibrant ecosystems because our resources provide us with food, water, clothing, and even the air we breathe. Although these resources are important to our livelihood and by extension our survival, they're under extreme pressure.
Some of the main challenges or threats to biodiversity in relation to the Belizean context includes deforestation. It includes forest fragmentation, pollution. We also have the threat of unsustainable tourism. Tourism relies heavily on our natural resources. We offer an ecotourism based product. However, there are impacts to the resources. Transboundary incursions is also another threat that we've been facing for years, especially along the western border, and also invasive species.
And because the mismanagement of biodiversity through harmful actions such as uncontrolled habitat destruction and hunting species to extinction can have lasting consequences, since the 1940s, Belize began to establish reserves like the Mountain Pine Ridge Forest Reserve in 1944. Today, the preservation of Belize's biodiversity is achieved through the establishment and maintenance of the National Protected Areas System, which covers a little over 45% of the country's landmass. And these days, a special unit called the National Biodiversity Office was set up 1 year ago to lead with the regulation, oversight, and management of approximately half of the National Protected Areas system.
And it was established to coordinate and champion the implementation of our National Biodiversity Strategy and Action Plan, and to coordinate efforts related to protected areas management and biodiversity at the national level. We also play a key role in terms of coordinating our reporting and our commitments to the Convention on Biological Diversity, a convention which Belize became a party to in 1992. We have a team of approximately 7 staff. So I ensure that we have those plans strategically aligned with our objectives and priorities, ensuring that we have the financial resources and physical resources, capacities required to implement the work that is mandated.
And to help get the work done, the National Biodiversity Office has reconvened the National Protected Areas Advisory Council. Their collective work will help to guide the preservation and sustainable use of biodiversity that is needed to guarantee water and food security, as well as the use of resources in their role in climate change response.
This is an important body that would oversee and provide direction as it pertains to decisions relevant to the management of protected areas across the system of protected areas in Belize. So it's a platform that brings together multiple agencies directly involved in protected areas management, who would then provide the direction and the technical expertise needed to make informed management decisions for the improved management effectiveness of protected areas in Belize.
But at the heart of the work of the protection and sustainable use of our natural resources are the Belizean people. Director of the National Biodiversity Office, Hannah St. Luce Martinez, says that it's important that as we observe International Day for Biodiversity, Belizeans understand that we're part of the solution for nature.
We can do a lot more in terms of keeping ourselves informed of what are the challenges, the policies, and the regulations related to biodiversity use and management. Though I recognize that there are certain cultural needs, we must recognize that our resources are not bottomless wells. And so it is that we need to raise that consciousness, that we must value and that we must safeguard our resources. This isn't only the job of the technicians and the persons within the offices. These resources are here for the well-being of each and every one of us. And I would want to see us take more ownership of our resources. I believe our people should also push for those regulations that allow them to have sustainable use, because it's not to lock up the resources either. I'm looking forward to the day when we recognize the fact that these sites, these resources can actually provide that livelihood that we need. We saw that through the pandemic, we've seen tourism come to a halt, come to a standstill. And now we see so many persons jobless, you know. Our resources provide that opportunity for us to feed our families, but we must always recognize that it must be done sustainably. So I challenge every parent out there to speak to their kids, no? To instill in them that pride, that being that custodian of our natural resources.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Andrea Polanco.